But today's prompt is pretty simple. It's one that I had shared on my socials earlier this morning. And this is something that I've been thinking a lot about. Y'all know I really have a fascination with the notion of humans as nature, because for so much of my life, I thought about humans living in nature. And then our dear friend, Lindsay Fauntleroy, who we used to have on last year for our soul medicine segments, she really helped me to explore this idea that no, humans are not living in nature. Humans are nature. If you're on the planet, you are a part of nature. And that's sort of really tapped into a sentiment that I've held for a really long time, ever since I was a kid, about the fact that we really should be looking to nature far more intently for signs, for indications, for guidance, if you will. And it's important that we do so, because when you start paying attention to the things happening in the world around us, you find that a whole lot doesn't come out of the blue. You know that phrase, it came out of the blue, which is an indication that you had no idea was coming. A whole lot might come out of the oblivious, but not a whole lot comes out of the blue. Like, if you pay attention, the signs of things happening or things about to happen in our world, they are everywhere if we are able to slow down and pay attention. And I'd seen something shared. I think this was shared on Twitter back when I was still on Twitter. I still technically have an account there. I dabble my toes in it every so often. But my Twitter account is set to automatically purge every day. So don't look to my Twitter account as a record of anything, because it purges itself every day. But there was a post that I saw shared by an account called Mind Essentials. And they have, I'm going to describe for you what you see in this prompt for those of you who have not seen it on my Instagram or any of the other places where my socials automatically repopulate. But it's a picture of a tree, and it's flourishing, beautiful on one side anyway. It's flourishing, it's beautiful. The branches are amazing. The flowers are robust. The leaves are phenomenally I mean, it's a beautiful image of like what nature looks like in all of its glory and all of its splendor. And then there's a split screen. And on the other side of that same image, so that imagine a tree with all of its beauty, its glory, its luster, it's amazing, it's in its full bloom, it feels great. The shade that you find when you sit under it the breeze, you can just imagine the flowers on the tree, they smell just aromatic. You can just imagine the beauty of experience that you would have walking under a tree that looked like this. And then on the split screen, right down the middle, a line has been drawn right down the middle. And on the other side of that image, so cut the tree in half, and on the other side of that image is the same tree, but in the winter. In the winter, there are no leaves, ain't no flowers. Everything that was growing and vibrant and fruitful and beautiful on the tree that made it so romantic and beautiful and amazing during the summertime or during the springtime has now fallen to the ground. It has gone into its stage of decay. And the only thing you see on the other side are bare branches. Okay, so this is a split screen. On one side, we've got the tree as it looks in the height of its bloom. And on the other side, we've got the tree as it looks at the depths of its lack, I guess. What's the opposite of bloom? I don't know. It just came to me. I was like, what's the opposite of bloom? And the message on the bottom of the image says the following: same tree, different season. Remember, everything is temporary. Same tree, different season. Remember, everything is temporary. And when I was thinking about this during my moment of gratitude segment this morning, I mean, my personal, not the one I do with y'all, but the one where I'm writing in my journal and I'm thinking about how I approach the world so that I can be prepared to approach y'all and have this conversation with y'all, I was reminded of the fact that so many of the moments in my life where I have looked back on things that have gone well and then went bad, or went poorly and then went well, I was the same person, just in a different season of growth. Right? Just in a different season. And it's not that I reached a pinnacle of height and growth and expansion, and then I just stayed on that trajectory. After every period of a pinnacle, of a height, of reaching a new area of growth and expansion, there's the winter, right? So that there's me in the springtime, in the bloom, and then there's me in the winter. And I've never yet, either in my personal life or nor have I ever met anyone who reached a pinnacle and the beauty of fullness of bloom that was not later then followed by decay and decline, because that is the cycle of life. You are the same person, but your growth and expansion looks different. And sometimes it looks like growth and expansion where there's flowers blooming and green leaves flourishing. And sometimes it looks like decay, and it looks barren, and it looks empty, and it looks cold and frigid. And if that was all you understood about the nature that we live in, then that would make sense. But what I'm also learning and I'm becoming much more clear about is that in the wintertime, when the leaves have fallen, when there is nothing else blooming on the tree, that is a very powerful time of growth as well. And the growth is happening in invisible ways, because all the leaves that fell to the ground are now decaying and becoming nourishment for the tree. The roots of the tree during the wintertime, when there are no more blooms, when there's no more greenery, when in the wintertime, those roots are actively taking nutrients out of the soil and preparing the tree for the next round of growth, because there is always a next round of growth. Same tree, different season. Everything is temporary, including the hellhole that we're about to walk into as a nation. Sorry, I probably should have left that unsaid. My apologies. Sorry, kids listening in the car with your parents. I apologize. Miss Lurie is being a little facetious. But I do mean for us to be very mindful of the fact that regardless of what has happened, regardless of what will happen, we are in a space of temporary existence. The things that we challenge ourselves to go through, the things that we are experiencing as a nation, as individuals, these are all temporary, be they beautiful and blooming, or be they something that looks more like decay, which we now understand is actually an active time of growth. And I want us to value each of these periods. Yes, value the time when you're on 10 and when your blooms are amazing and your leaves are green and your branches look like they are endless. But we also have to value the time when the leaves have fallen, when the crowds have gone away, when we're sitting in silence, because that is one of the most powerful times of growth as well. My friends, I don't know what it is today that gives you a sense of joy, a sense of gratitude, or a sense of appreciation, but whatever it is, I want you to hold on to it, to cherish and nourish it, and to sprinkle as much of the juicy goodness of it as you possibly can into the lives of other people, because Lord knows we could all use a bit more of it. And that, my friends, is today's moment of gratitude.